We've helped hundreds of clients build better construction companies.
We love this business, we love the people, and we've seen what running a successful, profitable business takes.
And we're sharing it all with you here on Construction Hot Takes.
Welcome to the Hot Takes podcast. Today we're going to talk about what's so great about Procore. Procore is a big player in the industry, we know that. And we get calls all the time about how can I be better leveraging Procore, or should I get Procore? Do I need it? Are there other alternatives, etc.? So today we get into that, and of course we have a couple of differing opinions and a couple of different takes on it.
What's so great about Procore? I take a lot of calls from Wall Street over the last 6 months from investment groups that are looking at this as an investment opportunity. Of course, I'm not allowed to disclose any of the questions they ask me, but what I usually tell them is Procore is the best Swiss Army knife with the most tools on the market right now for construction. It is probably the premier choice. It's the most expensive construction management software out there, but it's also the most versatile and the most functional. Now, it's not for everybody.
It's absolutely not right for everybody.
It is not right for everybody. It does not work for certain types of contractors. It doesn't work for certain types of projects. It doesn't work for companies that do service as opposed to construction projects. Mm-hmm. It is a project management software. It has some parts that work phenomenally well. It has some parts that maybe aren't as strong as other softwares. And they've also got this great ecosystem of third-party apps that integrate with it that
it's
can build
virtually
out.
Infinite.
I have likened it to the Apple Store.
It's
when iOS came
yeah,
out, that's Procore. And now they've let all these people write apps that will talk to Procore and augment its versatility and its functionality.
Some better than others.
Yeah.
Some
better than others.
Yeah. And Procore is not, from what I can tell, they're not curating the marketplace. They are letting anybody write an app and sell it. And I think Procore probably gets a percentage of sales of those. Sure. So they've created an ecosystem that's similar to the App Store in my mind. And I've told people this. I've shared this kind of theory. Now, I don't have any of this validated with Procore. I'm speaking from my own experience, my own knowledge, my own insights, and my own kind of what I've extrapolated, right? But what do we get calls about? What are the topics we get calls about for Procore? I've had it for a couple of years or 6 months, and we're just not using it as well as we thought we would, or we just got the financials module, but we haven't connected it yet. We don't know how to turn it on, or we connected it, but it's not really working. We don't understand it all, which is really interesting to me because they're already doing change orders somehow. Now they got Procore, and they just don't understand how to do a change order in Procore, but something seems like there's some foundational knowledge in the background they don't have, and they thought Procore would solve that knowledge gap, and it doesn't. It just makes it worse.
I agree with that. That's completely right. I'm going to make a broad generalization here, but it comes down to understanding forecasting. If they weren't doing that before, it is a new thing.
I'm even going pre-forecasting. I'm saying I don't think they understand budgeting. Because you have to build a budget, and then you have to do a change order, which the change order to the client impacts the contract value, but it also has a underlying cost budget impact as well. There's a cost for that change order and revenue associated with it. And I feel like they don't understand budgeting and how change orders work with budgeting. And so that just makes me think they don't even understand how budgets work. They just work off of an estimate, but they don't do what we would call project accounting, which is tying it back to the ERP, but Procore can give you that functionality, whether it's tied to your accounting system or not. It has the ability to do it. I just think there's underlying knowledge gap. They already weren't doing budgeting properly, and they got Procore, and that just amplified the problem. Now they have another system they're trying to use to do it that's automated and forces them to do it the correct way for it to work. Mm-hmm. And they get stuck. They're like, we don't understand how this works.
I think it's a really good point. Procore, you guys said it. Procore is a Swiss Army knife. And this is what I always say. I finished that thought. I always say, if Procore is a Swiss Army knife, that's great. But sometimes you don't need a flint to start a fire.
You don't need a spoon and a fork.
Sometimes you just need a knife to cut a piece of rope. And that's all sometimes it's for. And whether you use it for that or not, or whether you know how to use it for the one thing you need it for, which is budgeting, or keeping track of costs. Now, if you're on the PM side and you're just using it for daily logs, or you're just putting photos into it, there's a lot of different levels of Procore usage that we see. And I think the number one call that I get on Procore is, we just got this new module. We got talked into this new module. I have no idea how it works.
Yeah. Why'd you get it?
Well, exactly. Why'd you buy it? Well, they said I needed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Well, there's also kind of that easy button concept of, if I get this module, then it's going to make me have to I can get out of the projects, or
Exactly.
our financials are suddenly going to work.
Yeah.
Like it's just like this, boop, there it's done.
Yeah.
Which is,
as we all know,
Where they're
there is
like,
no easy
well, we
button.
should just keep putting it all in the same system. If we just put it all in one system,
that'll make everything better.
then it'll at least be all in one system. Then we won't have 5 softwares to manage.
I think. I mean, to be fair, you know, the configuration and setup. Procore is what we're talking about. This could be true for any software, literally any software.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't have some base understanding of kind of how they all have a different logic or a different way they think about things. If you don't have a base understanding of that, we do. You can make decisions during that implementation, that configuration phase that you will come to regret. Not because you was a bad decision, you just didn't know the second and third order knock-on effects. It's really spending time thinking about permissions, for example.
I was just going to say, I think a good example is permissions. You can set up basic permissions, or maybe they walk you through basic permissions and then you need a different level and you don't ever change it. And now you have someone in your system who shouldn't be. You have someone who needs access who doesn't have it, because we all know Procore is a robust. It's a robust
is a great
software.
word.
And if you look at that permissions page and you go 3 levels down, it is long and deep. And you need to know those things, because you don't know what you don't know until you have to know it.
The other thing is Procore 5-10 years ago was a much more simple, easy interface.
Yeah.
As they've added more functionality, it's gotten more and more complex.
Yeah, for sure.
And now, if you're a brand new user, just got Procore, you've not got an easy system that you can eventually expand into. Yeah. You've now got a very complex system that you have to figure out.
Yeah.
And you're paying a lot for. Like you said, you're paying a lot.
You want to get a return right now.
You want an ROI on Procore. And I think it's fair to say that Procore's model, I think it's fair to say, if you guys disagree, Procore's model is not holding your hand after the fact.
Correct.
Procore's model is, we have an amazing software that we've built over time. We have great partners. We have integrations. We give you what you need, and then we say, go do it. And there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of knowledge you need to make Procore be exactly what you want it to be.
Right. And Procore is not in the business of helping all their clients maximize the system.
Model.
That's why they built out the Certified Consultants Network over the last 4 or 5 years. And why we joined up, because we can provide that level of expertise. That's what we do. We bridge the gap between they sold you the software and they got the basics set up and you're using it fully. It's integrated into your daily operations and your whole team's using it and you're really getting maximum benefit. We're that in between. The big companies have like success teams they install internally to do that. Yeah. The mid-sized contractors don't have the bandwidth for it. And that's typically the calls that we're getting, is people that they are here, they want to be here, and they have nobody to help them get internally to get from here to there. And there's nobody at Procore that's there to help them through that either. And
in the meantime, they continue to pay for it and they continue to know they have it. And I think, to be fair, they want to use it. They want to make their businesses more efficient.
It's a great system.
It's a great tool that they want to get the most out of. And it's like, one of us used the example of like you buy a Lamborghini or you buy a McLaren. If you can afford it, great. It looks super, super amazing in your driveway.
But you don't know what half the buttons do.
Right.
And
there's 17 different driving modes.
Right.
I'm just in normal.
Yeah. And you know you're doing it wrong and you're kind of nervous to even take it out because you're like, I'm going to crash it.
I want to break it.
I want to break it. It's really expensive. Yes. Everyone's going to laugh at me if they see me on the road with this thing.
Right.
And where can I go to learn about how to drive this McLaren?
Yeah.
I'm not McLaren.
Procore doesn't have a Procore driving school.
It doesn't have a Procore driving
school. We did just really funny. For some reason, last week, I was using some sort of automobile analogy or a metaphor to try to kind of talk about choosing an ERP, right? It's like, well, you like a Ford, you like a Chevy, you like a Toyota. And the client suddenly goes, wait a minute, stop. Everybody, I want to write down on a blind ballot, what kind of car does Jeff drive?
Oh, he called you.
I don't know why, but he decided it would be a fun game. So we stopped what we were doing and everybody took a vote.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, what were the results?
Did anybody get it right?
No one got, officially one of the partners got it. We gave him credit. We gave him the win, even though it wasn't exactly right. So, but the best part about this is the McLaren made me think, the controller thinks I drive a Maserati.
Oh.
Which I was like, she's my new favorite. I don't. Then I thought, well,
maybe
maybe
he was a Maserati
maybe
guy.
I don't either.
Yeah, but he did.
But
Or
now-
she did.
She did.
Now you need to
I
go-
got a lot of Toyotas.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
He used to have one.
And I did.
Camrys.
I said, well, we had the Sequoia for a long time, so.
He's not a Camry guy.
Hey, that's a
Are you
two-way.
kidding me?
Well, but so I think there's a joke in there somewhere, right? What's the most boring car on earth? A Camry. What's the best, most long-lasting, most efficient,
Camry.
have forever car? A Camry.
Camry.
It depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
One is negative. One is positive.
So
I
there's
don't
the
think being a
Maserati.
Camry guy is a bad thing.
Were there any other outlandish guesses?
No, they were all very
Conservative.
just very super conservative,
Super,
very much me.
Volvo. I bet you got a lot of Volvos.
No, I got no Volvos. I got Toyota. I got 2 Toyotas, the Maserati, and one of the partners, he cheated and he said a VW or a EV. He didn't say what brand, he said EV. And so we gave him credit on the VW because the Audi is kind of the same company. Yeah. But I didn't give it to him and then everybody voted and said, no, that's the same company. I'm like, did he? Is it
It's
right?
not really.
I'm loving the jump from Toyota to Maserati.
I know.
In the same room.
Seriously, I wanted to we don't have time, but I need to know,
Why do you
tell me more about why you think I drive a Maserati.
I wonder
I want to. I would love that.
I wonder what Procore, if we had to guess, what would Procore be? Because really, if we think about what Procore is, we talk about Procore, there's, I think you said it, there's not a lot, there's some competition in the market.
Procore is like an
But
all-terrain, four-wheel drive SUV.
That's what I
with
was
all
thinking.
the options.
Right, with all the options, and you buy what you want, you buy what you can afford, but what you're buying is
Do you
still...
need the tow package? Not
Yeah.
right now, but I can always add it later.
Can we put dualies on later?
And
Truck bed liners,
And the other thing
caps.
is, when you buy the Maserati
Spotlights.
or you buy the Toyota, you want people to kind of say, they recognize it. If we walk into a client's office or they call us and say, we have Procore, that means something. It means either they're very forward thinking, or they think they need it, or they didn't look at anything else.
Yeah.
Or it's the brand name that they recognize and they don't know why.
Or they're a fairly sophisticated tech forward company, and all of these things are positive indicators.
Exactly.
I don't think it's as important that they have Procore. It's how well are they using it.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that's true
a
for any
whole
tool.
different issue. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
And
any tool.
no two clients use it the same way or the same amount.
We have that
That
with the
would be
RPs.
fine.
They know the big name brands, and they
It's a name brand. Yeah.
And we were like, we could look at it. I'm not saying they're not a fit for you, but I got some options that are going to pay. You're going to have a lot lower in investment that I think will serve you just as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But then again, people buy with their hearts sometimes, and they want the Maserati.
They want them, or they want you to think that they're a Maserati person.
Yeah.
That's the example of Procore.
And the other thing I pointed out to people is that Procore is now becoming a recruiting tool because
Yeah.
Procore is given it free to universities that have construction management programs. And so the college kids are all
They're learning
using
on
it.
it. They're learning project
don't-
management tools on Procore.
And they get out of college and they don't want to go work for a builder or a contractor that doesn't have Procore and take a step back. So if you don't have Procore, you're going to be
They come out of school Procore certified as a project manager.
hindered in who will come work for you.
That's a good
You're
point.
not as appealing of an employer if you don't have Procore, and that's the marketing that they've done.
Yeah, it's the mark of what it has become. I've a perfect example, client in Idaho, Boise State University. I know for a fact they train in their construction management program, they train on Procore.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come out of that program, you know how to use Procore, you're probably not going to land at a company that doesn't use it because you're going to be like, well, I know how to use this and I'm not going to get to.
This is a skill that I learned
It's
in
a
school.
skill
should
that
go
I want
use
to put
this.
to use on day one. Yeah.
And it's what all the cool kids are doing.
Yeah.
And well, 3 of my buddies are going to work at contractors that have Procore. I'm not going to be the one who's not.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go work wherever they're working, or I'm going to be that one of my interview questions. Do you guys use Procore here? And if you don't, I'm not really interested in the job.
Right.
So some companies, I don't think this is the main reason they get Procore, but there's a benefit there, and there's a some of them are thinking, well, we need to attract young talent.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to go get Procore and get our company onto that to make us more appealing.
But I think trying to circle back to the whole technology issue of what Procore is. I mean, it's construction technology, right? It's software for the construction industry.
It's part of that scaling conversation.
It is. What I was going to say is, if you think about what Procore is, what a good ERP is, I mean, at the end of the day, it's technology. And there's a generation gap sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a knowledge gap. I'm nervous to try something new. There is a whole sense in construction that if you don't know technology, you're being left behind. Maybe you are, or maybe you're not. But Procore is sort of that dividing line of, are you willing to learn it if you've never used it? Or are you one of those old school guys who just is never going to do it? They're going to do it on paper. Their daily logs are going to be hand written, and they're going to be in there.
There's fewer and fewer of those guys.
It's changing fast.
Yeah.
It is. It's changing fast.
The big benefit, I mean, humbly, what we bring to the client is they have these ideas about how it's done, right? There's an order to which you do it. You keep your daily logs on a piece of paper, or you keep
in your truck,
your RFI log on a when I started the business, it was literally an accounting column or log, and we kept our RFIs in it. And sometimes we can help that client make Procore do something it might not necessarily have originally thought it was going to do, because we can come up with a workaround, or we can create a workflow that helps make it more sense to you, because that's the way you want it to be.
Yeah, tools can be tailorable to what the company needs, as long as the Procore it's built to do that. But you can do this. That's technology for you.
Kevin and Amy both are just talented at that. I mean, they are they understand the baseline. They understand this is how things work. And they also understand how Procore thinks about how things work. And then they listen very carefully to, well, this is how I want it to work.
Right.
Well, okay, those things do not line up perfectly. However, there's a path. Just bear with me a minute. And they're so talented at that. They're really good at it. They're just really good problem solvers.
Who shouldn't get Procore? Typically, who I think should not get Procore are very small contractors. If you're under a few million, under 5 million, it's probably too big a system for you. Probably. These are not absolutes. I think residential builders, Procore is typically overkill. It's more for commercial and industrial contractors. If you're a trade contractor, it's becoming more appealing. It's typically it was originally made and intended for general contractors. Right. But they do have a lot of features that trade contractors are using, and they're expanding that out with the ability to cross the data barrier, where you can both be on the same project in your own ecosystems. So residential builders, typically not a great fit. Small contractors, typically not a great fit. Getting better for trade contractors. And if you do service work, if you are typically what you said earlier, like a service company that dispatches people and they do a 1 or 2 day project, it's not really for you. It's made for people who do construction projects that span weeks or months or even years. That's what it's really designed for.
And in full disclosure, even though a lot of our clients and a lot of our calls are about Procore, while there are not 20, 30, 40 competitors to Procore, there are alternatives for people who don't want or don't need or can't afford the full enchilada. They take something that's a little more focused.
Sure. I mean, Autodesk has their whole construction cloud. Trimble has a whole bunch of products. Then there's standalones like Buildertrend, CoConstruct, Red Team, eSub. There's a lot of other things out there. We talk about some of those on our website. There's competition for Procore. It's not, as I said, it's not for everyone.
Interestingly enough, the pre-construction estimating module is really more geared toward a trade contractor than a GC.
The bid room is GC, the Esticom is more trade.
Yes, exactly.
And then workforce planning is really trade contractor, not general contractor. It's for self-performed contractors.
Right.
So we talked about Procore today. We think it's important to know that Procore is really an important player in the industry, but it's not the only player. There are some
other alternatives and it's not right for everybody. So do your research and understand whether you are good for Procore or Procore is good for you, and make a decision accordingly. Thank you for listening to the Hot Takes podcast. Listen wherever you get your podcasts, on Spotify or on Apple Music, or on our website, ascentconsults.com. And you can like and subscribe there as well. And if you'd like any more information about us, please go there for more information.